Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And today we have to talk about XRP. Now, over the last couple of days, the price has been extremely stable. I think all of you guys have noticed that. There have been, however, a couple of strange things that appeared, like a massive token or actually account creation on the XRP ledger, which is not that important. There's also been a massive 1 billion XRP unlock at the start of the month, obviously, which is already a couple of days ago. But then there's also been tons of new updates, news, and tidbits. So like, for example, this right here. Ripple works on private XRP ledger for CBDCs, says ex-executive. Now, this news is not something really special to any of us, but I think combined with something that David Schwartz has said recently, and bear with me here, the internet for some reason is so buggy that all these web pages keep reloading. But take a look at this. So we often have talked about XRP on the XRP ledger and other things being tokenized on there. Now take a look. So there was a big discussion where Matt Hamilton came in the midst again because he likes to do that. And it was because somebody said, remember that Ripple and all the guys have a private and public ledger, and the price of XRP is different regardless of whether Ripple leadership tells us differently. Don't be naive. Let all the truths know. And so if we go down slightly, ever so slightly, Matt Hamilton says, no, not really, as a little response. XRP is what everyone collectively agrees it is in regards to price and in regards to what we define it as. Trivia question though, if you did do an exact copy of the XP ledger, say a fork with no changes to the code, is it XRP running on the new forked XRP ledger? This is not supposed to be serious, okay? Which is what is on the XRP ledger. If everyone agreed this new ledger was XRP, then it would be. Which is the same for any other network out there, right? If everybody collectively decides that Ethereum should be forked and that new Ethereum is the true Ethereum, it's going to be that way. Same thing for Bitcoin. Now, David Schwartz also had an interesting response by saying, or if it was something you could easily exchange with XRP on the main ledger, then it could also reasonably be described as XRP. Just understand that two things can be easily exchanged for each other will necessarily be very close in price. And I think the moment that he said that, a lot of the XRP backed by gold type of endeavors started to pop back up again harder than ever, because he's basically now saying if there's something issued somewhere, not to be too specific, which could easily be exchanged for XRP, then by definition, they're very close in price because it can be easily exchanged. It's similar to a stable coin in the US dollar. For a US dollar stable coin, it's like USDT or US dollars. It's basically the same, even though they're different entities. Then again, I'm not so sure if that's exactly what he meant with like a wrapped version of XRP, for example, on another ledger, because then it would not be the true XRP, but a wrapped version, which then would be potentially redeemable for XRP, which then would kind of be the same. I've just been thinking about that for a bit. Anyway, let's just kind of move on. We had a couple of different things, and I think this one was a fun little meme. But again, as I said, my internet has been kind of garbage. So yeah, so this is me buying the dip. I've said it to you guys quite often now, but I try to buy, and it's something that I've only not done on special occasions, like, for example, yesterday I felt really sick, or the day before, I think, so I didn't buy crypto. Overall, I just buy it every single day, and what I do is I wake up, take a look at what balance I have left to purchase crypto of, and put it in there. It happens like that every single time, and here as well, if I'm on a little motorbike like this, but you got to buy the dip if Bitcoin goes down like crazy, right? Or XRP goes down like crazy, or whatever crypto goes down like crazy. I also wanted to share a little list. It's not here just yet, but I wanted to share a little list of my favorite cryptos. And I think I can actually quickly do that if we can grab CoinMarketCap. So if we just quickly take a little look, we all know that the ISO 20022 upgrade or changes are going live very soon. I think like 2 weeks. Now, I just wanted to quickly mention XRP, ADA potentially, but QNT, so Quant, Algorand, XLM, HBAR, yeah, those are primarily, in IOTA, are primarily the coins that I'm really buying a lot of recently here, like just massively. It's pretty scary. On the side note, I'm also buying a lot of Chainlink because of what they do. But generally speaking, that little list that I just mentioned is my daily purchase I guess, list. And I try to just go, like, let's say it were to be 5 different cryptos, I try to go 20% each. But usually it ends up being like about 8 cryptos or so, and I just do a percentage split. However, I also work on, like I said, a round number basis, which is, let's say I have 990 XRP. I try to get that to 1,000 first before then moving on to the next crypto to kind of just make nice targets and goals for myself. So it's a little bit easier to accumulate. I don't know. It just feels like you want to get to that higher number, and so you just keep it up. Regards to XRP, again, we're just doing an XRP video today. There was a little discussion about should the fees be higher? Because the higher the fee is, the more XRP is going to be burned, and so the higher the price will end up. 2 things against that. 1, no incentive is the best incentive. So if you give people money, more money, for example, where it's worth it for them to all just start mining and opening up an operation, if that's their plan, that would not be too amazing. It should be okay, not cost too much, but it should not be a very profitable endeavor. Then again, talking about higher transaction fees, why would that be good? Because we don't want Ethereum 2.0. We want a very cheap and easy payment framework or network. We don't want the transaction fees to be high to include all sorts of different data. We want it to be simple, frictionless, and for payments, right? So Wrath of Kahneman said, with higher fees and smart contracts, we'd only succeed in creating ETH. Again, I fear low friction liquidity is the name of the game. As FlowFlow said, the XP ledger is too cheap. Burn transaction fees just doesn't have enough impact to catapult XP to double-digit price. Should there be an amendment to increase the fees by a factor that takes into account the value of the transaction, meaning more value transferred is more fees. So let's say you're transacting now $1,000. It's the same fee as transacting $1. It's just a fee to prevent spam. And I believe David Schwartz actually came in to say, well, let's quickly take a little bit of a look. I think he came in to say, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea, which I can potentially agree with. I answered yes, but I don't think transaction fee destruction should be used as an artificial mechanism to try put upward pressure on the XRP price. I think transaction fees should reflect the actual cost a transaction imposes on the network to more rationally allocate resources. I don't want to lose the advantage of low cost, high speed transaction confirmation, but I also don't think node operators should be subsidizing transactions whose value is less than their actual total cost, which I can't understand. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword where you want it to be as cheap as possible for mainstream adoption. On the opposite end, you want it to be, reasonable and proportional. So that's a little bit of an iffy one. It's hard to say what exactly is best. I think this was a video we already covered before, so I don't have to showcase that again. Now, there was an article, and I think there's actually been multiple of these here recently, regarding the Supreme Court, and I'll show it to you guys in just a second as it loads in. We've been talking about the Ripple versus SEC case for a very good while. Here's a new twist in the XRP lawsuit. What does this Ripple's new Supreme Court letter mean? Ripple apparently asked the judge to appraise the Supreme Court decision at the time of filing the summary judgment in the XRP lawsuit. So this is not that big a deal. Some people will make it out to be, but it's not. It's something we have seen quite a lot in crypto lawsuits. It's just if it becomes apparent that somewhere in the midst in the US, for example, there's been a case that kind of discusses what's ongoing, well, you want to insert that into your own lawsuit. You want to take that legal precedent and slap it onto this one. So Ripple Friday filed a letter in the court supporting its motion in the long-running case. It mentioned that the recent Supreme Court case backed its fair notice defense. However, the agency previously argued that the third party's views stand irrelevant. And so that's ultimately where we end up again. So Ripple asked the Judge Torres, to appraise the Supreme Court's decision at the time of announcing the summary judgment in the XRP lawsuit. That's about it. We're hoping that the lawsuit is going to be over at the end of this month. Again, things are moving fast, though, if you think about it, because a lot of you guys are saying, oh, this lawsuit is taking a lot of time. But just realize for just a split second, what if this seriously is the end of the lawsuit and the price just goes absolutely haywire if they win, which obviously is not a given. They can't lose for right now, which can be appealed later in Supreme Court. I'm just saying, what if it really is the end? That means that the next, let's say 25 days are literally the last couple of days you can accumulate cheap XRP. That would be crazy, no? That would be too short if I sometimes think about it. Anyway, potentially that's why a massive XRP account creation just happened quite recently here, like a couple of days ago. If you don't know, you can just see a graph or a line of all the XRP accounts that are being made every single day. And all of a sudden, one day there was a crazy massive spike in accounts being made. Some people are saying, hey, it's the friends of the court, it's some other baloney that's going on in the background. I do not know. Just wanted to quickly mention that was ongoing. And I have so many more articles, but I'm not sure if they're completely relevant, as a lot of them have to do with FTX or Binance and the situation that's ongoing with that right now. I think for the rest, we've actually covered all that I necessarily wanted to cover. So I think we are good to go. One thing I had as well was this, which is a similar article, I believe. Yeah. And I think then we are good to go. Yeah, coming back to it. It's been pretty boring recently here, but March is a pretty big month. We have a couple of very nice, important dates. 14, 15, 22, I think. I've already covered everything. I've already shared everything. But that was it for today's little crypto update. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. And see you again in another crypto video later today.